Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Roblox reaction. Today we have one from Nullscape. This is Find Your Flame, and everybody under the sun wanted me to get to this song. I've seen so many comments for this one in the past, like, month that I've literally lost count. I could not keep track of how many individual comments there have been with hundreds of likes each on this specific song. So I'm gonna listen to it, and I suppose without further ado, let's go! Not a bad start. I love just the list of deaths going on here.
Finding yourself all alone in the chaotic world. Feel the passion and fervor engulf your own soul. In the empty horizon,
Okay.
portals fall. Will you see what lies beyond the line? Go find your spark, go find your flame. Tear down the darkness of null and void. Go find
This one just brought me back to a very specific place. I'll save it, but I'm smiling like an idiot, and I can tell.
reclaim the darkness of null and void. Go find the spark and ignite the lost world that you forgot.
The video as well, like, it's all kind of bringing me back a little bit.
And again and again. Feel the cycle of death repeat again and again and again and again.
I really like this halftime in here too. I mean, I always talk about how much I love halftime, but it's got to be well placed. The bass line is carrying this song too. It's it's doing so much. It's not even like a hard bass line or anything. It's just a couple of like whole notes, but that's all you need.
Finding yourself all alone in a chaotic world. Feel the depths of your shadows engulf your own soul. The empty horizon, portals fall. Will you see what lies beyond us? So go find your
Like
spark, go find
the
your
little
tear down the darkness
synthetic stuff that was happening in there too. There's so many little details. Not too many, but like well placed. Again, a lot of this is just well spaced out.
Suffering repeats again and again and again. Feel the cycle of death repeat again and again and again and again.
I'm just finding myself lost in this like nostalgic sauce right now. Oh man. It is a very surprisingly well done track. See, like this distorted what I think is a guitar. I think that's a guitar sample. Could be a bass maybe. Just kind of fits, you know? It works.
Uneventful, feel the consequence of your mistake. Never-ending days of madness killing you. Finding yourself consumed by the pressure in the chaos.
Get a little flubby with that bass line there. In a good way. Is that like a phaser in there or something? Like, it's just a good progression. Simple, but effective. Just, it's doing its thing. It's heavy. You know what? I didn't know what to anticipate because a lot of people have been like artificially boosting the hype of songs before I get to them, and I'm trying to like understand that that's going to happen because of fan bases, obviously, but this one actually kind of lived up to the hype. I gotta say, I'm way more impressed than I thought I was going to be. So I just realized I didn't have my back wall on. That was my bad. Not that it actually affects anything, I just realized it, so I fixed it. Anyway, what this song reminded me of might bother some people, especially given the connotation here, but this reminded me a lot of the early days of Aviators, the composer Aviators, the music producer Aviators. For those who don't know, if you know the name and you've heard like more recent stuff by Aviators, then you probably can at least feel what I'm getting at. But I'm talking early days, the Brony days. I was a Brony back in those days in the like 2012 to I think 2014, 15 era. I like classified myself as such. And there was a lot of really good producers in that fan base. I'm sure there still are. I don't really interact with any of them anymore at all, but I'm sure that they're still around, and a lot of them just did things that were super creative and original, and they just had their own sounds and their own approaches to music and just stuff you don't usually get in the larger zeitgeist of the internet. And I think that's kind of what Roblox is now. And I'm not trying to say like Roblox is My Little Pony, the fan base, bronies and all that. It's a different thing, obviously, but in a lot of the creative ways, especially musically, they're doing a lot of what like bronies did back then too, just being themselves, doing their own thing. And I also know there are like generalized fan base creators who just make music over whatever is the most popular thing at the time online. Like I believe Jake Neutron fits into that too, which, fun fact, he actually was on a My Little Pony project with me way back in the day, and I don't know if he remembers me anymore at all, but like we were all part of that community, you know, and it's just like, hey, we start somewhere, right? And we all kind of branched out and did our own things, and I'd love to see what Jake is doing now. And it's just like, oh shit, okay, you know, go off, King, you're doing your thing. I appreciate that. And it's just the same thing for this energy and this song. It's just doing something that's reminding me a lot of what that was. And I think it's just the pure passion behind it. There is a factor of this song that feels like it's not trying too hard, which I've heard a few in the Roblox fan base that just that are really trying too hard to be the next thing and try to do something that is like so far above, frankly, their skill level that it just ends up falling flat. And I feel like this one is just, hey, I'm comfortable with who I am as a producer. I'm going to make that. I'm going to have fun with it. And even down to like the vocalist in this one, not having the best recording equipment, it just feels a little homegrown. And that's always nice to hear. It's a little amateurish, sure, but like they still performed well. They still put it together well. The mix probably could have been a little bit tighter, like especially with the vocals in there. There was a little bit of a mixing problem with just getting them to nestle themselves in there, which is super common in basically all online music creators. A lot of people just don't know how to get that to happen, and it can be one of the most challenging aspects of a mix. To get the vocals to work with the instrumental has got to be one of the most challenging factors of the entire process. So like, I don't blame them at all in that way. And again, in a way, at least to me, this song feels better for that because it feels more original in that way. It feels more creatively open. It doesn't feel like they're trying so hard because they're working with what they have, and they're making a song that is frankly relatively pretty stripped down. There's not a bunch of things happening. There's not a bunch of attempts at doing some cool sound design stuff, and while I absolutely adore that, there's definitely a line of I'm not ready to handle that, and I feel like this producer understands when those moments are there, because they were doing some sound design stuff in here, a little bit of the detail work in the synths and having some extra little, you know, kind of sprinkling it in, but at the same time not overdoing it, not putting too much in there and creating just a jumble of nonsense throughout the song. There is a balance that you have to do, and sometimes the song makes sure that you understand that while you're working on it. There is a lot of times where you're working on something and you're like, man, this isn't working at all, and you either need to scrap it entirely or start removing elements, because the simpler it is, the better it is. And I don't know if that's what happened here, but it definitely feels like it. This one is largely driven by that bass line, and of course you do have the other synths in there too, and that one guitar chug I was talking about, I'm still pretty sure is a guitar sample. It might be just like a VST that just sounds a little bit synthetic because that's the quality it has, but either way, it fits. Like, the vibe of it fits with all the other sounds in here. Nothing feels out of place, even down to the strings that, again, do feel kind of synthetic, which I'm sure they probably are, but as a result of them all being synthetic and the entire song kind of having that vibe to it, instead of trying to clash it against like really high fidelity variants of the same instruments, like real recordings versus just synthetic copies of it. There's so many people out there who try to blend those together, and you can tell, and it sounds awful, you know? So that's kind of what's selling me on this song, is the fact that it just feels right, because it doesn't feel like they were trying so hard to make it something it's not. And as a result of that, they just ended up making a really nice song, actually. It gave me that nostalgic buzz from my early Brony days, but at the same time, it's just well done. The top line is very solid, the vocals are well performed, the lyrics aren't bad, and I really don't have any other complaints about it. The mix is probably the biggest thing, and will always be that like final hurdle for most producers, is to get that down and really understand why all the sounds click together and getting those frequencies understood, which is much more technical and really doesn't get down to just the music, which frankly is really fucking good here. So I really don't have any like negative notes on this one. This is just a fun listen, and like I said, I understand now why people were so hyped about me getting to this song and why so many people like it, because yeah, it's just kind of there and it feels true to itself. It's not trying to be the next big thing, and that's probably why it's so popular. You know, so many people underestimate the value of just doing your best, believing in your track, doing what you love, and not trying to be the next viral sensation or whatever the hell else is the goal there. Just make what you love, make what works work, and if something isn't working, do not be afraid to kill your darlings. That's something that everybody teaches in the creative field. Killing your darlings is not like a literal thing. It is deleting something or removing something when it's just not working anymore, even if you love it. Even if you're so attached to it, you need to understand that there is a point where a song really can't come back from that. There's a point where just, you know, the anatomy in your art piece just doesn't feel right. Don't be afraid to just scrap it and start over. That can be the most daunting thing to do, but it is one of the most important things to do. And I wonder how many times this song went through that process, or maybe it just sprang out of the depths of their creativity and they really didn't need to do that many takes on it, but that will be the rare exception, not the rule. So that was probably 1 out of 1,000 different song ideas that this person had, if that was the case. And otherwise, they're sitting behind their computer, cranking things out, trying to work out what makes the song work, what doesn't make the song work, and work around those. So I think Descendant did a really good job with this one, just trusting themselves. I think that's really the bulk of what made this song feel so good, is just making decisions, being careful about them, being aware of them, but not overreacting to them. And that is something that every creative has to struggle with a little bit, and sometimes, like this one may have, just comes out a little bit easier than others. There will be those times you'll struggle, but there's also times where things just kind of appear and you're like, oh shit, there's an idea, and it works, you know? But overall, a fantastic track, very well done by everybody involved, and like I kind of alluded to with the video also being a part of that nostalgic energy, I think that it's just the visuals also remind me a lot of early Aviators music videos too. A lot of their typography stuff was very similar to this. A lot of Brony typography kind of had a similar vibe going on, and I just think it's charming, you know? It's nice, it's well done, but also it's got a character to it. It has a clear identity, and it's, again, not trying to be something that's super popular. It's just doing what I think the artist thought was cool in that moment, and that's really the best you can do. It's the most fun thing is when you get so absorbed in an editing project where you're just like, yeah, oh, and then if I do that, oh, you know, I do that so many times. I did that so many times when I was doing visuals back in the day, and animations as well. It's just something that hits you when you're just like, that's it, that's gonna be cool, and then I'll add this filter, ooh, and then oh, You know, you kind of go like unga bunga monkey brain with it, and it just feels so good by the time you're done. And you feel so accomplished when that final product comes out and you're just like, hell yeah. I did see the comment at the top of this section where the person was like, sorry, the render didn't quite work. Oh shit, it fixed itself. That happens too sometimes on YouTube, where like the quality will upload something a little bit janky, but then through post-processing or just something fixing itself within the system, God forbid whatever that is, it works. And it's like, okay, cool. There's been a few times in the past where I've been editing something and I forgot to put like a black background in my editing software. And in that process, the way that YouTube itself handles that like empty background, like if you don't have a specifically like black background layer, it just makes it transparent. And if it exports like that, it'll be treated weird on YouTube. And that's just a technical thing. But I've done that a few times and I'm like, no, because then it makes everything else look different from what you remember seeing in the program. I couldn't tell you why they do that, but you know, I'm not the one developing these softwares. Either way, we've all been there. We've all experienced those moments. I even had a similar thing happen with one of my old covers, the Morning Dew cover, I believe, where like I exported it and the audio came out weird and I didn't realize why, and I didn't know what to fix, and I couldn't re-upload it because it was already a few days late by the time I discovered what the issue was. And it's all just technical crap. But again, being able to finish the project is what makes you have that creative high. And that's what I think they were feeling here. They were just like, man, let's keep going. And those visuals were super clean and smooth all the way through. Very well done all around. I really have no negative notes here. This is a brilliant track. I've been yapping for a while. So with that, I should probably call it. Thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want me to get to something else, by all means, drop in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to those. Or if you just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that. And I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!